not to because they have a pulse on what their fan base wants to see. They have a pulse on what I'm sure that they're doing research. I'm sure that they're trying to find out exactly what their subscribers are wanting on their channel. Maybe that's the thing that HBO did wrong. HBO wasn't paying attention to the people that were watching the fights. If these networks don't pay attention to that, then it won't be business very long. Those big contracts will go out by the wayside.
So Rose is a fight that the fans want? Is Rose that fight that the fans want?
You know what? It's not. I didn't make that decision. I just said DAZN is the one that made the decision to put that fight on. So I think that's a question for the people that are making the fights. Again, if there's people that are calling the shots, so we work with the people that are calling the shots with Charles with the BBC, right? Charles with the L. They can make it in their best interest. I'm sure it'll happen. And you're going to be in one, and you be in the other, and you're going to invest in your investments, or you're going to want to throw away your investments. It all depends on, again, with these huge contracts, it's got to be something that they have a lot of influence. That's a great fight. That's a great fight. I still think that Canelo wins. Canelo's a little more elusive. Canelo's a little more a better boxer. Got better hand speed. But I wouldn't count Danny out. Danny's a warrior. Danny's got a big heart. He's got size. They were able to limit him to 10 pounds for the next day. They were able to do that with the IBF rule. But I still think Canelo wins. I think it's a 60-point.
And Abel, I know you watched not only top 10 but top 15 in a lot of different weight classes. So what do you think of when you've watched Steve Rolls even before the fight was signed?
You know what? It's not somebody that was on the radar, obviously, but Rocky Fielding wasn't on the radar of anybody either. You know, he was knocked out in one round by Callum. So I think that if you go back and look at Canelo's fights, Floyd Mayweather's fights, Floyd had one tough one and three, I guess, easy ones because they're all tough. Okay, but these guys can't be, their careers would be extremely short if they were in difficult fights every time out. Look at some of the fights that they've had and analyze it. The fans cannot expect them to be in a elite fight every time out.
Does that mean, though, the fact that you didn't know this guy was that he probably will be overmatched against Triple G?
Triple G was 18-0 when he got his title shot. How many fighters can you count that were 17, 18, 19-0 when they got the title shot? Andre Ward was 17-0 when he went into the Super 6, and look what he did. You just never know. You just never know what a guy brings to the table and what they can do. You pit him against a good fighter, and sometimes the good fighter comes out in them. But the date we'll find out.
What do you think of it though when he's had 17 fights at 35 years old? Is that different and peculiar in boxing?
Is 55 years old. Hopkins is 50 years old.
Right.
There's so many fighters fighting towards. I think that today's athlete is taking better care of himself. I think that today's athlete is not as abused, let's just say. So even at 35 years old, today's athlete is a little more reserved and preserved than yesteryears. At a middleweight, it's different than in the lighter weights. At a middleweight, they don't really mature until later anyway. But we'll see. We'll see on the when did he start fighting. I really haven't studied him, but when did he start fighting? If he started fighting 4 years ago, then no, 35 is not bad. So
fresh 35.
Yeah, it's a fresh 35. I have George Joyce who's 33 years old and he's got 8 fights. Are we going to say he's not ready for a title shot? I mean,